Do you have piles of projects everywhere? Are you missing milestone gifts? Someone has an anniversary or a graduation coming up and you don't have your quilt ready to give them? Are you paralyzed by making progress because you have so much you want to do that you can't get anything done? Same here. That is a crippling problem that I've been having. I have projects everywhere, and then I have more projects coming in that I want to get done. So I'm here to show you a tactic that I implement. I just took all my projects, and it took me a good week to write them all down in one list and categorize them. So here is my sewing in progress list, and when I finished it, I was at 17, and then I found 2 more quilts that were stashed away. So I really hunkered down for a week and thought, I can't start anything else until I finish 2 so I can make progress on my list. And what I did was I put the next step that I need to do for each single item, and then I looked at what is time sensitive. So I had an ambassador project that needed to get knocked out by the end of June, and so that's what I tackled first. So the June Island Boutique Ambassador project was to incorporate flying geese into a project. It could be a runner size or a quilt size, and you had to use their gradients or pre-cuts. So I used the Opulent Orange set, and I came up with this table runner, and I had made good progress on it. June is a super busy month for me, so I just didn't have a lot of time to do much more, but I still think it's super cute. So I mean, at the time I was doing my whole list, I just had to finish a little bit of quilting and put the binding on here. And so I did like a little candy corn type, you know, with the triangles, super cute, and then just vertical lines. And that was the end of that. And I took some cute pictures of it, and that was ready to go. So I got one project scratched off of my list. So the project that I wanted to pick up, but I cannot start until I had to finish, was that I got the Liberty box from Fat Quarter Shop. I love red, white, and blue quilts. I knew this would have a cute project in it, so I picked that up and had to put it on hold until I'd made some progress on my list. So next up was Boardwalk. I have been needing to just finish up the quilting on Boardwalk, and the holdup I had on this was that I have a large order of quilt rulers coming in from Silly Moon Quilting Company out of Canada, and that order has just been pending for about 2 months, and then I kept adding to it as she came out with new rulers and new sales, and so it's grown into this large order, and it's still pending, and I couldn't wait anymore. I'm like, just finish up the quilting on this quilt, get the binding on, and be done with the whole project. So here is the Boardwalk. I have a video on this, but it wasn't quilted at the time. And then I did a pieced backing, and then this went right on my bed. I was so excited to have this done. Just super simple quilting, and it was all wrapped up. And just to have this pile out of my sewing area was a huge relief. So 2 projects were done. I was able to go into the Liberty box. So I haven't even really unboxed everything. I dove into the project that I knew was there, so I don't even know what else is in here. Pins, the red, white, and blue, and I did pin this project. I didn't use these pins, but I did pin because you had these really long strips to put together, and they had to line up on the ends. And then these little coasters. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this coaster really matches my table runner that I just, let me go get it. Okay, so you've seen this in another video. I did the Patriotic Quilt table runner from Designs by Juju, and this little firework matches my new coaster. Like, same design. They're crazy cute. Oh, fun. Okay, so now I've got the unboxing experience out of the way. I'll show you, I did do the project. So the project was called Apple Pie. Came like this, and you know, I had the first reaction that a lot of people had, why aren't the stripes red and white and then the star be white and blue? And I thought I would switch it up, but since there's so many directional fabric, like they have to be lined up this way, I think it works for this fabric, for this pattern. So here is apple pie. Okay, and here's the back. I use a black and white binding. And let me get that quilting up close. If I can, I did these little waves. Here, if I stand in it, yeah, now you can see it. These pretty waves that all come together. I used a Creative Grids ruler called Squiggy. Yeah, Squiggy ruler. And I did my quilting, I put the foot above, worked all the way down, flipped it, came all the way back, and then I used the little one in the center, all the way down, in the middle of these, all the way back, and then I filled in all the way down. And that created this quilt pattern. And then I have some neutral projects. I did pick up some extra projects, but I finished them while I was doing this through the week. I went and took my embroidery machine in to be repaired, because if you can look at everything you have to do, and if there's something that you can delegate, go do it. And for me, it was troubleshooting this embroidery machine. It just was shredding a lot, and the dealer gave me lots of advice. There's nothing wrong with the machine, it just wasn't reacting well with one of the threads. So when I got it back, I made this one. And this made sense because reindeer have a dark muzzle, but the eyes are in the dark and you can't really see them. So I made this one, and that turned out a little better. People seem to like that one better, but it didn't work for the project that I had in mind. So I hadn't made a third one, this time in the 5x7 hoop, and now it fits in this little container that I have. I have a whole set of these 5x7 photo containers. It fits in there, and it has the right coloring, and it has my needle minders on it. So I collect needle minders, and I decided that I would make mug rugs and stick them on there and store them for their different categories. So these are my Christmas needle minders. So I got those done. Oh, and then I got one more thing done. So I went to Michael's craft store and I dropped off a cross stitch to be framed. The very first one that I'd done. And then I did another cross stitch. So it says, Happy Hunting. It's got a little spooky bat. And there's supposed to be a lot more elements on this cross stitch, but I didn't cut it to the right size. And I messed up, but I like it the way it is. I'm gonna stop here. I'm not gonna add, there's supposed to be like a floating grave and a cat and a pumpkin, but I don't really like the style of either of them. I really just love the bat. So I cross stitched my little bat, and I'm gonna buy a cheapo frame because the custom framing at Michael's was so expensive. So I'm just gonna stop here, and then even though this is still in progress, I mean, it's a finished sewing project. So that I remain neutral on that. So those are all the things that I've finished. I hope this helps you if you want to get organized, and if there's things that you want to get done, and help you pave the way to completing these projects and just making your home a lot happier.